the weirdest toaster ever.
Okay, it's not a toaster. This, my friends, is the EufyMake E1 UV personal printer. The first of its name, the first of its kind. What is up, cupcakes? I'm Nick, and this is Bill Dad Bill, and this is my new favorite thing I didn't even know I needed. Look at it. Look at it. So good. Wow.
Wow.
All right, so I know I said less reviews, but I put it out there to the cupcakes at large, and they said they wanted to see this machine in action, and I'm really glad they did, because this thing is lunacy and a very nicely shaped, compact, toaster-esque form factor. Have you ever wanted to be able to slap full color graphics on damn near anything? Metal, wood, tumblers, mugs, your neighbor's mailbox? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because today we're checking out the budget-friendly UV printer by EufyMake that does it all without emptying your bank account. This little monster was expected to drop somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000, which in UV printer land is like hot dog prices for a fat, juicy steak dinner. And if you catch the Kickstarter early, you'll save even more. You're basically stealing it. Allegedly. It's small enough to throw in your car and drag to a craft fair or a sketchy pop-up market in Compton. Size, big enough to print a Mortal Kombat dragon, small enough to pretend you're not starting a second business without telling your spouse. So the E1 is basically the Swiss Army knife of UV printers. Flatbed printing? Yep. Rotary printing? Hell yes. Roll to film printing for vinyl and stickers? Even more of a hell to the yeah. All thanks to a slick modular bed system that swaps faster than that girl you met in Cabo. Print quality, absolute banger. And I promised I would never use that term. The EufyMake ink was brewed special for this machine, and their Color Maestro software basically runs the show. Dialing in color so sharp, it'll reach out and slap you in the face. Want to get freaky? The E1 can lay down up to 5 millimeters of textured ink, basically making your prints touchable. If you're not using that in your marketing campaign, you're missing out. Oh, touch me. Ooh. UV printers are usually a maintenance nightmare. Printhead clogs, ink tantrums, soul-crushing regret. But the E1's jet clean system automatically flushes the nasties out. Them little buggers, them little ink buggers, if you will. And that keeps you from spending Saturday night whispering sweet nothings to a couple $1,000 paperweight. The software is available for PC, Mac, and mobile. It's packed with templates, free designs, and it has an AI designer that is probably smarter than people that leave ignorant comments on my videos. You know who you are. One of the big questions that keeps coming up is how much is ink? How much ink does it use? How much do replacement cartridges cost? And honestly, that is kind of an impossible question to answer with this machine because it does so many different things. But I am going to take you through a couple of samples that I printed out to kind of give you an idea of what you'd be looking at. All right, so what I did is I made multiple prints of this guy right here. And what I did is I used the different functions inside the software to create different versions. I wanted to keep the design the same so you can see how things vary depending on how you want to print this. All right, I have my cheat sheet over here because it's a lot of information. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. But this guy was just printed flat. Ink type is WCMYK, which is basically a white layer and then a color layer. That print took 6 minutes and took a total of 0.28 millimeters of ink. This one is the flat raised print type. It is raised 1 millimeter. It is the same white to color ink type. This one took 28 minutes and used a total of 4.27 milliliters of ink. The raise is it printed like 1 millimeter-ish of white ink first. So if you look at it next to this one is raised a bit more. So when it prints raised or embossed things, it uses white ink to do that. The white ink is resin-based, so it prints a layer of that, cures it, and then goes ahead and prints on top of it. This one is using the relief texture 1 millimeter. The ink type or the print type is embossed. It took 24 minutes and used 1.71 milliliters of ink. If you look, you can see the texture, if I can catch it in the light. There we go. So that's a 1 millimeter raised print. Next, we have a relief texture print that is 2.5 millimeters raised. Still using the embossed feature, 38 minutes, used 3.96 milliliters of ink. So as you get into these raised prints, they're gonna take longer and they're gonna use more ink, mostly white. But if you look at it, this one has a little bit more texture than the last one. Next up, we have a 5 millimeter print. It took 1 hour and 6 minutes. It used 8.16 milliliters of ink. And look at the difference in the 1 millimeter and the 5 millimeter. Can you see how crazy thick that is? And this was just a regular picture. So the AI actually looks at it and decides what it wants to raise and what it wants to deepen. I don't know how it works, but most prints, I have had a couple that came out a little wonky, but most prints raise the right stuff. Like this skull, like this is higher than the nose bone and the teeth. The eye hole goes in. Ooh, eye hole. Next up, I'm using the pattern texture feature. Just kind of raises it a little bit different. And there's a little bit more of a pattern in the texture, I guess. This one used the texture print type, took 14 minutes, and took 0.78 millimeters of ink. And the last one I have for you right now is the same pattern texture, but this is a 2 millimeter texture, 35 minutes, a total of 2.11 milliliters of ink. They just are slightly different in their textures. So as you can see, even printing something as small as this, depending on how you print it, is going to depend on how much ink you use. Now I'll tell you this, each cartridge of ink is 100 milliliters of ink. Each one of these guys is gonna run you about 45, 50 bucks to replace, and you are going to use more white than anything else. I will leave you to extrapolate those numbers because I do not math well, and if I try to math it out for you, I'm sure I will get murdered in the comments. I will, however, link down below to a TikTok that Cornelius Creations put out that he does like just basic math and kind of explains how that works. And you can check out what he has to say. I think he did a long form video on it too. If he did, I'll link that down below as well. Okay, real quick, I just want to, Future Nick's gonna jump in here and let you guys know something that I've gotten questions about since I did all this, and it's about the warranty. EufyMake offers a 1-year warranty, and I don't know if you guys know this, but EufyMake is owned by Anchor, so you're in good hands. Bottom line, the EufyMake E1 punches above its weight. It's gonna make you look like a printing god, and it's not gonna destroy your bank account in the process. Early bird specials are live now. I'll leave a link down below. Go check it out before you miss it and spend the next year regret scrolling on TikTok. All right, get out there, burn it, build it, and slap some badass graphics on it. Subscribe if you haven't, like if you're cool, join the Cupcake Army if you're even cooler. Daddy out.